Jeez, I love 5 colors. So much fun. I'm so glad this is my Thanksgiving draft. Anyway, opponent's mulled to 6 while being on the play. I'm going to keep, even though we only have 2 lands. The reasoning being, I have a 2-drop that I can cast on turn 2. Any land gets me my 3rd land for the Horde Chief. And once we get to 4 land, we have a Wee Fate. And kind of we just want to stay alive. Opponent's mull getting to Oblivion, which is kind of a bummer. But we're definitely going to give our opponent the opportunity to draw out of it, since we only have 3 of our 5 colors at the moment. Ooh, I'm glad we have our Flame Crank Technique and our opponent doesn't. Those are some colors that could really use such a powerhouse card. Dragon's Eye Savant. Looks like my opponent might also be doing a similar game strategy. Ooh, we have a very nice 3-drop. For now, though, of course, it's just get that student down, have our own defense. I say my opponent might have the same strategy we have, being 5 color, since this is a really great 5 color card. It's not so much great in anything that's base, blue-red. I'm just going to go and start going wide here. So I will attack with my student, which I assume just gets blocked by the Dragon's Eye Savant and nothing else happens, and then we'll get the Mardu Horde Chief down. Opponent's going, oh, so you're playing Jeskai, huh, Shani? Is that what's going on? Not so much. If I draw a land next turn, I'll just go ahead and Wee Fate after I've done 2 points of damage to my opponent. Well, 3 points. I'll trigger Prowess on my opponent's turn. But it's an untapped land, or a tapped land, rather, so I think I'll just go ahead and play the 1,000 Winds. It could take a removal spell, but my opponent's like, mulled to Oblivion, so we just get to continue to develop our board. Opponent takes 2. Nothing. Oh no! Oh, I just clicked through my turn by accident. Alright, no more shortcuts. I'm just going to do actual clicking and F6ing. But I'm really annoyed by that. Silly me. Super silly me. And I don't have anything I can cast for 3 on my opponent's turn, so we're just giving my opponent all the outs here. Now that I do have an untapped land, if you will, I'm not going to play the Monastery this turn. We'll just go ahead and do what I was saying next turn, play the Wee Fate. But what I want to do then is go like this, find that forest, and then attack with just our guys that can get to 2, whatever. Assume there's no block here, besides with the Dragon's Eye Savant, but no. Because it's free, makes my opponent use a turn. Normally I'm thinking, well, my opponent will play a spell which will at least make it a 1-for-1 here, my opponent just needs to stay alive. But since it's a Wee Fate, I get the pump, and I just get to draw cards, so that's awesome. Including some powerhouse cards. Nice. So hopefully that allows the Morph to die. It could be a Reveal State Life. Golf Clap. I don't know what a Golf Clap is. My opponent just said Golf Clap to the right, but I think that's me just not understanding. So, Efreet Weapon Master was the one. But yeah, my opponent's just stuck on mana. My opponent thinks I'm stuck too, because I don't know how to play Magic online, but whatever. Alright, Salt River Patrol. Opponent's starting to get some defenses up. We still get to attack in for 2, though, so that's kind of nice. Do I need a Swamp down? I don't have anything to, like, really power out. I think... What can I do for 5 mana? Let's play the Riding Mastodon? That seems kind of lame. Would love to play... Maybe I just do a Morph in an Archer's Parapet. Like the 1,000 Winds. My opponent's not attacking, so it doesn't matter. But still, it's a flyer. That's pretty cool. Next turn, I can just play the Sagu Mauler at 6, just face up. That's probably what I'm going to do. If I just want to use 4 mana... No, we're definitely doing 5, so we'll do this. And then attacking with everything. Or not everything, sorry. With the Jeskai Student and the Mardu Horde Chief. Don't care if my opponent just does basic blocks. I mean, it's not going to kill anything. So we'll see if my opponent wants to take my bluff. Alright. Opponent just goes ahead and calls. I'm fine with that. And then I will play the 1,000 Winds face down. in case I want to have access to its ability soon enough. And just develop the board a bunch more. I'm pretty sure once this monastery comes down, if my opponent hasn't already figured out that I'm really just all about 5 colors, then my opponent will surely figure out now. I mean, there's 5 colors on the board. Well, it's Thanksgiving. I think I'll have some whiskey. Sip, sip, sip. Yummy. What's a golf clap? I don't know what a golf clap is. My opponent said that to me casting my Wii Fate. I don't get it. Ooh, I like having the Wind Scout. We're still at 5 though. I don't have a 2 thingy to do. I guess we just have the evasion creature down and then be able to activate the Archer's Parapet. I like that. So now we can actually start getting in for some damage. And then we'll have the 6 mana up that I wanted before for like the Sagu Mauler and whatnot. I'm fine. My opponent's starting like, whatever, I'm just gonna do basic blocks. And as predicted, opponent gets to draw out of the mulligan, but we're still way ahead on board and way ahead on cards. So I'm not super worried. Got it. Alright, guess we're outlasting, but we got our flyer, buddy boy. Sweet. Ooh, flying crane technique. Can we win right now? Let's just say these all get flying and double strike. Let's just say. This gets a 2, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Do we just go for it? I think we do. Why not? Let's say my opponent has something to deal with something, which we haven't really seen yet from my opponent. This will at least make my opponent use that now. And I mean, we have the win on board, so let's try it. I'm not dying on any crackback. So there's that. Go flying, go! Here comes the prowess. Did I do the math right? I don't know. I really don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, that is 20. And that's also why flying crane taking. Oh, so there is a response. Kill shot. Oh, you're killing my morph. Why would you do that? Opponent gets to keep everything alive. Or no, not keep everything alive. Gets to keep things alive. See some of the power. But that wasn't exactly a bad move. We have a bunch of lethal creatures now. With more to follow up. Every morph we plays that. And my opponent's like, okay. Don't know why my opponent saw the kill shot then before drawing a card, right? Because that just showed me the kill shot. You're going to see the morph anyway after the fact, so whatever. Anyway, so that's the game of my opponent, mulling to oblivion and me finally getting there. But it was also nice to explain, why you take flying crane technique and force 5 colors when that gets past you 3rd or 4th pick. I forget which pick it was, but it was like 3rd or 4th. Sonic Glaciers, don't need. My opponent, I think we got enough morphs to keep on line with my opponent. My opponent's also maybe playing a little longer with Dragon's Eye Savant. Not too sure. Brave the Sands, also don't feel like this is the deck or the matchup for it. Don't really know since we saw so little from my opponent's mole. Alright, we got 3 of our colors. Again, we have things to do at 2, and 1 land gets us a bunch of 3s. The issue is I don't have blue to cast the Wind Scout, but I have the Monastery Flock. And in this kind of format, if I'm not playing an aggressive player, I just want to have as many cards as possible. Oh, it's nice to have a 3rd mana, so we at least have 3 spells to play as we get our defense online. Our opponent's not being aggressive here, so I don't need to force out the Jeskai Student quickly. I'm happy to just go ahead and develop my mana base. Just guys, I'd play if my opponent had a 2-drop that mattered. Opponent has perfect mana though, so definitely game. Just guys, ooh, that's a wee bit scary. Alright, at 3 now, I will just start playing my morphs, get some value online. This can start getting some huge damage through as my opponent develops a Jeskai deck out, which means I want to be making trades as often as possible. So my opponent runs out of creatures to make Jeskai Ascendancy or any other type of prowess relevant. Killshot should be fantastic in this matchup. Alright, opponent rocks out a morph. I have morph too. Utter End is good. I'll go ahead and attack with Monastery Flock because I'm going to be playing another morph this turn, which will serve as a possible blocker. Then my opponent might be at 5, and therefore, or 5 mana, and therefore I won't be able to offer any blocking. Assuming my opponent doesn't do that, because my opponent just wants to build out a bunch of creatures and make Jeskai Ascendancy insane. Which is correct. We got our damage in that we needed to get in. We need to develop our board as we need to, and start looking for more of our lands. Remember, aggressive blocking here. No 5th land. Come on. Well, I actually already had my luck against my opponent. My opponent's mulled a 5, kind of was already awesome. So opponent is revealing a free Weapon Master to get the Watch of the Roost online, we see. So my opponent's taken to the air. Gain a couple life. This Sage Eye Harrier might get some work done. When I hit my 4th land, do I just keep up Utter End? Possibly. But then I'm kind of priced into using one of my removal spells. Opponent stuck, has a free Weapon Master in hand, but still just wants to be keeping mana available. So let's see what my opponent has in terms of, is this just an arrow? Or, sorry, a kill shot? Killing an attacking creature? That's fine, because these guys kind of suck. Ooh, a Bring Low. Oh, I forget it also untaps a creature. Okay, so that's why. That means my opponent's a block, at least there's a trade. But I wish I had paid attention to that, because I forgot it's an untap. If it was a +1, you know, if my opponent now had a 3/3 to block, like if this was a 2/2 flyer, that would not be awesome. Opponent's taking out my Harrier. Doing a loot. Got rid of a Plains. There's my Harrier. And I assume just takes 2 and doesn't want to do the trade. Correct? Correctamundo. Oh no, does do the trade. That actually works for me. Right now I have more action spells than my opponent, so yeah. And I get to be the first one to rock out another creature, which is just great. So cool. The Salt Road Patrol. Slam out my Monastery. No need to attack. Play Jeskai Student or Sagu Mauler. Let's get the Mauler online. This guy's good. Maximize the manas. There we are. No, I'm not attacking. Not at all. Now I might just hold off on and just keep my Bitter End and Kill Shot available while I develop my mana to start getting to like 5 mana and whatnot. Here's a Windscape. Yeah, I think we're just going to end up using some removal spells here. Opponent's currently just on the up game plan. Ooh, Mardu Charm. Maybe we'll just use that guy since I actually can cast it. So I think I just attack with both. If my opponent blocks the new morph, I do use a removal spell because I don't want the Sagu Mauler to die. But I'm not blocking the Salt Road Patrol anyway. And I'm going to kill the Jeskai Windscout before I do the Salt Road Patrol. Let's see if my opponent thinks that I'm racing. Thinks that we're racing. I'm attacking again because I'm not blocking. So might as well try getting damage. See what I'm finding. Yeah, my opponent doesn't even want to block. So I'm just going to keep open I have 3 great removal spells. I'll use the one that is most appropriate based on what my opponent could have up. Attack in for 5. Just attacking with the Wind Scout. Okay, could have cancel up. Since I have a bunch of removal, I don't mind running out a piece of removal in order to draw that out. I would probably just take the damage otherwise. Alright, so that takes out the flyer. That's great. Opponent has, ooh, High Sentinel. So that's going to take an Utter End before things get super duper crazy. Mantis Rider is a great follow-up to that. Do I want my opponent to untap with this? No. Ooh, Disdainful Stroke gets it, though. Let's just go ahead and bet my opponent doesn't have the Disdainful Stroke. Don't know if that's true or not, but we're just slam going for it. Could be that's what my opponent was waiting for, though, and why my opponent waited that long to play it, but did not, so yay. Still can't attack. We're still stuck on 5. We have 18 lands, though, which is why we play 18 lands, because it's so important for us to hit that 5th land drop. But as the game goes longer, we're favored. My opponent currently only has 2 cards in hand, an Assault Road Patrol, against a handful of fantastic stuff, plus a nice Defender and a really nice beater. So there's that Weapon Master we knew about. Maybe my opponent's trying to rock in with the 6/6 here. I'm fine going down to 14 if my opponent wants to open up to a crackback. Alright, so we'll probably just attack you with the Mantis Rider this next turn. Ooh, and follow up with... Can I cast Savage Knuckleblade? I have blue, red, no green, though. So I can't play the Knuckleblade. I don't have green yet. Play the Mantis Rider. It's still so efficient on mana. I want to get rid of the Salt Road Patrol at some point. How am I blocking this Efreet Weapon Master, though? One more land and I'll start popping things up. It could be I just need to bite the bullet, use a Mardu Charm, kill the Efreet Weapon Master, attack in for 4. My opponent can crack back for 3, but I'm still going to be winning that race a little bit. And again, I'm okay with the... Oh, I need to decide what the... does 4 damage here. I'm okay with that, considering that I'm still at a high enough life total that I am winning the race. I don't think my opponent's going to want to do that. And I have a handful of gas, while my opponent has 1 card in hand. There's no 1 blue spell that makes me worried about the Jeskai Ascendancy making anything relevant, like untapping the Salt Road Patrol or saving the Free Weapon Master. Which is why I'm doing this now, by the way. And I'm still not blocking the Salt Road Patrol, so I will just attack. My opponent says, "Wow, impressive," in the chat. Hope that's genuine. I don't know. Maybe just out of 5 color, or it could be sarcastic, like, "Wow, I can't believe you can cast this stuff with only 4 mana." The deck does have power as long as the mana cooperates, which currently isn't happening. Yeah, my opponent is now kind of forced to go back on the defensive plan. Another Salt Road Patrol, which is worrisome. It can still be a huge hit at some point. Ooh, like having this Force Away. Again, I just want to stay alive till my 5th mana comes down, but I think now that I do have enough pressure on the crackback, and I'm going to be able to do this with the Mantis Rider, I want to cast this now. So we'll go red, blue, white. Get our Rider down. Start beating. I feel much less pressure to get another land. I certainly want it, but now that I have a Force Away, which is really good against what my opponent's trying to do with the Ascendancy and the Salt Road Patrols, being able to untap with that, even if like the Mantis Rider goes down to a removal spell, is going to be pretty fantastic. So currently, if no land is drawn next turn, I'm just going to rock out a Jeskai Student, keeping up Force Away. Jeskai Elder, do not care at all about, especially with a Force Away in hand. Opponent might take the opportunity to outlast here. But so long as I get my flyer in, I'm okay with that. No, opponent still wants to be on defense, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, now I'm not going to play the Jeskai Student because I do want to Weave Fate. I could do it on my turn to get the 5th land for sure, but I'm not going to be able to cast anything anyway. So I'll just wait and play it on my opponent's turn so I can keep Force Away available against any crazy shenanigans my opponent might have, like a bunch of life gain, you know. This guy gets big and some kind of life gainer happens. That would not be good. Right now my opponent's on a 2-turn clock, which is very good. Flyers in this format, man, oh man. Okay, opponent's going for some attacks here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minimum damage. 10 possibly. If my opponent has 2 spells here, I could lose actually. Not with Force Away though. So I think I just put this morph in front of the Jeskai Elder. There's gonna be something. What do I care about? I don't think anything. Because anything my opponent does... I mean, these guys untap, so my opponent's not dead to the crackback, but Force Away will keep me alive. But my opponent could do a huge hunk of damage right now. I feel like I just double block the Jeskai Elder. If these guys die, they're kind of irrelevant. And then if I get too much damage, I can Force Away one of the Salt Road patrols. Then I'm kind of happy. And that also keeps my opponent from looting. So yeah, that's the game plan. It sucks because my Sagu Mauler could easily just go down. Come on. But since I'm just stuck on lands, I have other powerful things to do in my hand. I don't need to like prioritize that so much. I just need to keep my Mantis Strider alive. Opponent is going to kill... Nope. Which one are you killing? It's kind of like a gamble anyway. Alright, what is this? Ooh, a Trumpet Blast. Alright, how much damage is all of this? I mean, it's all resolving. So I'll get to see just how much. Opponent gets to loot. So this is 3. The Trumpet Blast will kill both my guys. Also, I'm taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage going down to 3, if that actually happens. Versus, I could just take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, go down to 3, bounce the Jeskai Elder, that gets recast. I think I'm just going to bounce the Salt Road Patrol. The Jeskai Elder does die here, so at least, like, I'm not entirely losing out on this exchange. And then I'm only taking 5 damage, so let's do that. So it's kind of like a 2 for 1 for my opponent, but not, I mean, it's almost like a 2 for 2. Sort of. Doesn't leave my opponent in like a commanding position unless there's a follow-up play here. And I definitely have follow-up plays. They're not necessarily fantastic now that the 2 cards I can cast are kind of dorks, but I have another flyer, so that's cool. Opponent has to deal with that very soon. Another, oh, it's the same one, of course, that I bounced, the Salt Road Patrol. Hey, in 5th land. That's great. I think I just play the Jeskai Wind Scout and the Jeskai Student. The Student to block either of these dudes. And then we don't take that much damage. My opponent could play a spell to kill the Student, but it's not going to kill me. And then I have another flyer online. Yeah, I like that idea. Which can actually be lethal with a Weave Fate cast on the following turn. And F6'd. Alright. How do we block? Well, we block a Salt Road Patrol with the Jeskai Wind Student. That's it. This there anything I'm missing? My opponent can't have Arrow Storm and a Trumpet Blast, which is the only thing I think of that would kill me. 5, go down to 4, do 2 plus something else. Both the flyers are lethal. Removal spell would have to happen. Wait, would Arrow Storm kill me? No, because I would just do 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. 1 from the Ascendancy, 2 from Assault or Patrol, and 5 to me. But actually, just... Okay, well, my opponent just decided to outlast here. Interesting, possibly. Well, not bluffing. Opponent is not bluffing any sort of removal spell. There's a Force Away right now that could take the Mantis Rider out. So that means I'm attacking with both the Mantis Rider and the Jeskai Wind Scout. This could be another Watcher of the Roost, put my opponent to 5. Which means, but then my opponent would have to block. Go down to 2. I'd only have 1 dude backed up. Let's attack. If I need to, I can play this Rotting Mastodon, and that's only if the Mantis Rider doesn't get through. And I'm not dead to a crackback with my Vigilance Mantis Rider. Alright, so it is a Force Away, which is fine, because we're just going to Weave Fate here. Oop. Which gives the Jeskai Wind Scout lethal. And my opponent's tapped out and can't do anything, so... Oh wait, this could be another Watcher. Well, my opponent can't flip it. Never mind. We're good. We're good. And my opponent concedes, which also was very sportsmanly in the chat. Said, good luck in the next round. It was fun, even if Moto was useless again. You know, I'm assuming that was part of the mole from the first round, and also a little bit of flooding from that game. So we're on to round 2. Woohoo! Thanksgiving draft.